Greetings, YouTube. Along the same veins as my icebreaker question series I've been doing, I found this online. It's called 23 Deep Ass Questions. You probably have figured that out from the title of this video. And I thought I would answer them just for fun. I've read a couple of them, but most of them I have not read, so I'll be doing this cold. So we have number 1. What is more difficult for you, looking into someone's eyes when you are telling someone how you feel, or looking into someone's eyes when they are telling you how they feel? Neither. I have no difficulty looking in someone's eyes when I'm telling them how I feel, or listening to them how they tell me how they feel. 2. Think of the last time you were really angry. Why were you angry? Do you still feel the same way? The last time I was really angry was just a few minutes ago, and it involved social conservatives trying to control the world. Whether they're doing it purely through political means, as the GOP is, pandering to their base, or just trying to impose sectarian religious law upon the world around them. It always angers me. It always will anger me. There are certain things in life where anger is the absolutely appropriate response. 3. You are on a flight from Honolulu to Chicago, non-stop. There's a fire in the back of the plane. You have enough time to make one phone call. Who do you call? What do you tell them? I call my wife, and I tell her I love her. 4. You are at the doctor's office, and he has just informed you that you have approximately 1 month to live. Do you tell everyone you are going to die? What do you do with the remaining days? Would you be afraid? Well, I would tell my wife right off the bat, and my family, and frankly, I would tell you folks. And I would make sure that I had a chance to close down this, not close down, but end my web presence here on YouTube appropriately. I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. I would love to make it to 6 years. So if I die in the next month, I'd fail at that. I need to make it to March 1st. But I'd probably tell everybody. What would I do with my remaining days? I'm not sure. There are places I would want to go, but that would require flying, and that would require throwing out one of my deeply held beliefs that my Fourth Amendment rights are important. I would probably want to meet my nephews. I haven't met them yet. I would like to stand on Hadrian's Wall. That would be cool. There are certain things I'd like to do. And would I be afraid? No. I don't fear death. I never have. Not before I was a theist, and not as a theist. 5. Can you have one of the following 2 things? You can have one of the following 2 things. Which do you choose? Why? Love and trust. Love. Because if you love someone, to my mind, they will be trustworthy. They love you back. And if you have love, then you have both. Love going in both directions. So I think that's kind of a weird question, because trust without love is pointless. Love comes with trust. 6. You are walking down the street on your way to work. There's a dog drowning in the canal on the side of the street. Your boss has told you if you are late even once more, you are fired. You take the time to save the dog's life. Why or why not? I saved the dog's life. I can get a new job. 7. But I should point out that I am never late to work. In fact, I am always early. All the ways. My shift starts at 11. I am always at work at 10:20. I read. 7. Would you rather be hurt by the one you trust the most, or the one you love the most? Again, the person who wrote this list has a weird concept of trust and love. I don't want to be hurt by anyone. To my mind, these are the same thing, so that's a really weird question. 8. Your best friend confesses that he/she has a feeling for you more than just friendship. He/she is falling in love with you. What do you or did you do say? I'm in a relationship. I love you. I am honored. But I'm in a marriage. I'm not looking to end it. I'm not looking to move our relationship in that direction. I'm sorry this hurt you. Have I been in that kind of position before? Yes. It sucked. 9. Think of the last person you know that died. You have the chance to give them an hour of life back. But you have to give up 1 year of yours. Do you do it? Why or why not? Yes. One of the last people I know died was 18 years old. And he died in a motorcycle accident. And I would give him an hour with his mom. Because she deserves that. She deserves the right to say goodbye. And a year off my life seems like a small price to pay. 10. Are you the kind of friend that you would want to have as a friend? Yes. Yes, I am. I wasn't. I am now. 11. Does love equal sex? No, sex equals sex. Love is love. There's two completely different things. If you have sex with someone you love, it's usually pretty good. But sex on its own can be pretty darn fun. 12. Your boss tells you your coworker that have to let them go because of work shortages, and they are the newest employee. You've been there much longer. Your coworker has a family to support and no other means of income. You go to your boss and offer to leave the company. Why or why not? No, I do not, because I have obligations as well. I have a mortgage. I have a mother-in-law that needs to live here. We have debts. Sometimes bad things happen. They aren't your fault, and you are not responsible for them. 13. When was the last time you told someone honestly how you felt, regardless of how difficult it was for you to say? What was it? What did you have to tell the other person? I've had rough conversations with my wife as I grappled with different issues within my personal life. I've said goodbye to someone because he did something I consider immoral, but it was legal, and so I walked away and severed all connections with him. And I did it in a very, very quick manner. My wife got in the shower, and by the time she was done, I had broken off our relationship with one of my best friends. Like that. Oh, I can't snap my fingers, sorry. So maybe that, I'm not sure. I like to solve problems before they come to a head like that, however. 14. What would you like, or what would be, or what was harder for you to tell a member of the opposite same sex you love them, or that you do not love them back? I've never had a problem telling people I love them. Never, ever. Even when in my deepest, darkest depression, I was able to tell people I loved them. I guess telling someone I wasn't interested in that way was probably more difficult, because it didn't stop me from loving them. I just wasn't interested in that way. 15. What do you think would be the hardest thing for you to give up? Why would it be hard to lose? Hardest thing for me to give up? That's a very broad question. Define thing. The internet would be almost impossible for me to give up because it's part of my life. Reading would be impossible for me to give up. There are things in my life, my wife, my friends. That's a weird question. But I'm finding it fascinating because we're getting a really good look inside the psychological makeup of whoever wrote these questions. 16. Excluding romantic love, when was the last time you told someone you loved them? Who were they to you? Last person I told I loved besides my wife and my family, we'll count the family out. My friend Amelia or Felicia, because they're my friends, I guess. 17. If there was one moment and one time in the last month, what would you change and why? Can't do that. The past is a book. We can learn from it, but we can't change it. And even entertaining that idea is really, really meaningless. So, sorry. Would you give a homeless person CPR if they were dying? Yes! How the fuck am I going to know their housing before I decide to give them CPR? That's dumb! Wow. This person's got some major issues. 19. You are holding onto your grandmother's hand and the hand of a newborn that you do not know as they hang over a cliff, at the edge of a cliff. You have to let one go to save the other. What do you do to let fall to their death? What was your rationale for making the decision? It's a newborn. Okay, this is a dumb question. My grandmother, a newborn. Toss! Pull grandmother up. The baby will be fine. But if the question is, do I consider a newborn life to be of greater value than my grandmother's life, who has had a full and far life? Well, my grandmother can make that decision for herself. I would ask her, do you want me to let you go? Or should I let the baby go? I'd talk to her. And if I couldn't talk to her, I couldn't make that decision, then I'm going to choose the baby. That's what I'm going to do. Are you old-fashioned? I don't think so. I don't. Many others may disagree. When was the last time you were nice to someone and did not expect anything in return for it? I bought a book yesterday for one of my coworkers' kids. I expect nothing in return. Does that count? I'm nice to people all the time. I hold doors. I help people carry things. I've spotted a guy at penny at a store yesterday because he was short a penny. I do small kindnesses for people all the time, and I've never expected anything in return. I decorated a tree once at the airport, anonymously, for Christmas. My coworkers thought it was fascinating. None of them ever knew I did it. I never told anyone at that company I did it. I think, again, I would love to talk to this person. 22. What would you choose? True love with the guarantee of a broken heart, or never loved at all? Why? True love. Because true love's awesome. And the old saying, it's better to love and lose and never than to love at all. Well, that's the truth. I'd rather have the memory of that love, regardless of what the heartbreak is. I've had heartbreak. You get better. You can move on. Never having known love? That's just fucked up. 23. If you could do anything or wish anything, what would it be? Well, I think those are two different questions. Because if I could do anything, now that, like, I become skilled at something forever, or I can do one event. Or and then a separate is, if I could wish anything. So let's take the first one. If I could, we'll say it's a distinct quanta of something. You get to do something, and you're going to succeed at it. Okay, so you can do anything. So that's where we're going to take that message. Again, this is very unclear. So we're going to take that as an event. I'm going to say, write the world's most popular piece of fiction. A 12-part science fiction epic space opera. I would become incredibly rich and would get to expose science fiction in a way I think it should be exposed, because I think it is of equal value to fantasy. I want to turn J.K. Rowling's entire worth into pocket change. Yes, I'm evil. And if I could wish for anything. Now again, we're talking, this is a big wish, but it doesn't say, and what's the scope? Is it just personal? Is it internal? Or can I affect the world around me? If it's internal, I ask for eternal, perfect health. So I physically will never, I'll be Batman. I'll be perfectly physical, no diseases, I'm free forever. Eternity. I'll figure out the rest. Now, if it's a wish for anything beyond that, like just, it's not personal, I want to be the richest man that's ever lived. There you go. I think I could do some very interesting things. So there you go, folks. 23 sort of deep-ass questions that I think really open up a lot of questions about the author. So I'll put them in the show notes, and anybody who wants to tell me what they think, I'd love to hear it.